Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi there, how are you, Benjamin?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good, thanks.
Is there a particular way you prepared for this role in the game? I mean, how much were you into Warhammer, and are you more into Warhammer right now than you are before?
um, I've always been fascinated by Warhammer, and part of my reason for getting involved in this project was because I'm very interested to see how a very physical, visceral game built around, real figures in real space then translates into the virtual world. I mean, that's something that I'm particularly fascinated with. So obviously, I didn't know too much about the universe that had been created for this particular game, so I had to do some research into that. But I find it really, I found it really fascinating, and again, it's such a thorough universe that has been painstakingly put together. So I did as much research as I could to find out about the Imperium and Titan and the world and the hierarchy within the Grey Knights, and so I could really get a feel for what Grandmaster Vardan Kai, his position was in that power structure.
So, what makes the character you're voicing in the game special to you, and what unique touch do you want to give him?
I think one of the main challenges in creating Kai was really to make the fact that he has this direct relationship with the player, with the novice. He has to have a sense of, obviously, of authority and control, but he delivers a lot of messaging, a lot of information, and that was when I set out to play the role, I wanted to make it feel that it came from character, that it just wasn't about imparting information, that at least that there was, you always felt what was underlying his reasoning for giving out the information, whether it was whether he felt that the Imperium was under great threat and he was covering that, or whether he was sometimes allowing his feelings to show. But so the tension in the character really comes about from what he releases to the player, and how much he covers up when he knows what the stakes of the operation is, that he wants to keep to himself.
So, I assume you get a lot of offers for roles. What made you choose this one? What attracted you to it?
I, I really I really liked the relationship of talking directly to a player, which I've not done before, and I thought it would be an interesting acting challenge to have that, to have that connection, as I say, and then to be able to gauge how much emotion would be able to translate, given that he's not a character that really shows off how he's feeling too much. He keeps a lot of it to himself. So for me, the challenge was, how the player will receive the underlying emotion of what he's saying and the subtext of what he's saying.
Well, we obviously know you from Gollum or Snoke in Star Wars. How does your work in this game differ from these roles, for example?
Well, in this game, obviously, it's not a performance capture driven role. There was no. I wasn't on set. I wasn't filming with other actors, or I wasn't in a motion capture volume shooting my performance. It was purely a voice role. But nevertheless, it still requires you to do the work as an actor to find the character. That was. So it varies, greatly from the way of shooting on set and the time it takes. Obviously, this is limited to a few hours at a time sessions, and then coming back and maybe doing some pickups. But on the whole, you have very little time to actually get it right. So there are challenges there for sure.
Are you doing this actually right at the studio, or can you do it wherever you want, basically?
No, I went into. I mean, during COVID, there have been lots of everyone has operated from home and created home studios, and put duvets up around them and created environments so that they can do voiceovers and so on. But actually, by the time we came to shoot this, the studios were open again, and it was a better environment to go in and be able to work with the sound engineers and being in a proper sound studio. So it was fine. Yeah.
You actually worked on several games in the past, like Heavily Sought or Enslaved, which I really liked. What makes video games special to you?
I love the immersive nature of video games. I love the fact that the player is the author of their own destiny as the main character in a story. And I also, when I got involved with Ninja Theory all those years ago, back in 2004, at that time, video games were going through a transition, as you obviously know, from being purely about gameplay to being narratively driven and driven by character. And so it was fascinating to me that you could employ filmmaking techniques and approach to character and get good actors to come in and be involved in the gaming world to enhance the experience, so that it wasn't just so that the flow between narrative and cut scenes into gameplay was seamless, but was supporting the journey of the central character, which is the player.
You obviously have a lot of experience over the years, and I mean, is there actually any challenge for you with this role? I mean, people are probably imagining it's easygoing.
Well, every role you play, of course, has challenges because you've never done it before, and you want to examine different aspects. The Vardan Kai has a certain implacability and sort of he's very sly and stony, and quite sardonic in the way that he speaks to the player at times. He can have deep sarcasm. He very rarely does he lose his temper, but when he does, it should be quite terrifying for the player. So there are always challenges with every character that you play, and it always you learn as an actor from every job you do.
So how much fun is it to portray that character with all these sorts of different emotions, reactions?
As I say, every time I engage in a character, it's a new journey for me, and this one was finding the right voice for Kai was. I had something quite sort of I had a few ideas in my mind which I tried out, and then working with the director, we adjusted, and I think I wanted him to be, in my mind's eye, he was a lot quieter and more reserved and pulled back, and what we've ended up doing is someone who has a lot more thrust in his voice, but at the same time doesn't show too much. So you're all that's what I love about the process of acting, is finding the character.
Not sure if you can do it. Can you give an example of how you sound in the game?
I would hate to get out of context do it, because it wouldn't make sense. I don't think it would.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to meet you, Benjamin.
Nice to meet you.
You too.